You're going to notice two things right off the bat in this video. Number one, I'm going to get thrown into a room in progress, and we're going to talk about that during the video because that is something I absolutely can't stand. And number two, hey, YouTube auditor, fuck you. Oh, you know I had to get that shit in there, man. Anyway, you're going to notice in this game, there's another one of these damn games where I'm stuck with a shitty-ass fucking team. And it's not even that I got stuck with this fucking team. What they should call this shit is thrown into a match with a shitty-ass team. And I have no fucking idea why I actually entered this fucking game. I must have figured that either I was close to a challenge or some shit like that, or I thought I could turn this motherfucker around. Whatever the hell it was, I must have been some reason I joined this game. Because I will tell you right the fuck now, I hate joining games in progress. I hate it. And this game is more than halfway over. I mean, look at that shit, man. I jumped in with what? 4.5 minutes left in this motherfucker. And you're going to see how bad this team is. Because obviously, if I'm picking a game where I started in progress, you know something's up with this motherfucker. You know something is up with this joint up in this bitch, man. So anyway, as you know, I was just talking about this. I hate getting thrown into games in progress. And the reason why I hate getting thrown into games in progress is there's absolutely no benefit to the player. And I didn't even see that motherfucker up there snipe him. That's okay. I'm going to get his ass. I will come back and get that motherfucker. But anyway, like I was saying, man, when you join this fucking sport, you know that guy must be pissed right there. No, but obviously, you know, when you get thrown into a game in progress, there are a number of things that occur. This fucking guy shot me in my damn head. You know, there are a number of things that actually occur that are not in your favor as the player who joins the game. First of all, if you happen to win this game, if my team were to come back and win this game, you know what would happen? Absolutely nothing. It doesn't count as a win on your record. It doesn't count on a win in any challenge you're doing. So let's say you have to win 50 team death matches or whatever the fuck it is. If you win this game, that doesn't count. Nothing. Nothing absolutely counts. But do you know what does count? Losses count. So let's just say I joined this game in progress like I did. And obviously I joined on a losing team, knowing that it was a losing team. Even if my team won this game, the win doesn't count on my record. But the loss will count on my record. It's fucking irritating. And the other thing why I don't like joining games in progress, or games that I'm having to pick up somebody else's pieces and shit like that, you know, I have a flow on any single map. Everybody probably has this. You know, that motherfucker was like laying in the grass. I sort of saw him, but I didn't know exactly where the fuck it was. A lot of people like this little corner right here, man, because I know it has that little wall protection, that tall grass where you can just sit in like an asshole and shit like that and hide. Oh, you know, coming around that corner, you always got to know there's going to be some asshole in that grass on this fucking map, man. But anyway, I thought that motherfucker was alive right there. No, but I don't know how the fuck this guy didn't get me, but you know what? I really don't give a shit. Now, one of the things that occurs when you actually join the games in progress is you have to pick up the pieces from someone else. And I personally like getting a flow from the start of a match. You know, in here, right here, see, I can tell that motherfucker had an oracle up in this bitch. You know, they gotta change that shit where you can see a motherfucker who's glowing with the oracle and shit like that. Obviously, he can see you, but it shouldn't be allowed to see a motherfucker glowing on shit like that. That shit is so fucking stupid. And right here, look, I'm already, what is it, 2 minutes in, I've already thrown myself into third place up in this motherfucker. Obviously, you can only imagine what I'm gonna finish with up in this bitch. But anyway, you know, when I start in a match and I get on a map, I have a certain flow. I have a certain route that I like to take. I have a certain pattern that I like to follow. I know where the enemies are going to be to start the round. And if I get a kill or I get a death, I know there's only so many places the enemies can actually go to. So that's why I enjoy starting a game. I don't know how the fuck I got a double kill right there, but I really don't give a shit. So that's why in this asshole put that IMS in this bitch. But obviously, I don't like to start a game where I don't know where the enemies are. I want to be able to start a game knowing that my enemies are going to spawn on this exact point. I know that my teammates are going to be in this exact point. When you get thrown into a game in progress, you're all fucked up. You got to figure out exactly where the teams are. You have to hope your enemies aren't playing cheap like motherfuckers, because we all know you could get thrown into a game in progress. If your team's already losing, chances are it's either you're on a really bad team or the other team is playing like a bunch of bitches up in this motherfucker. Right here, I must have got sniped in my ass. I know that person must be pissed. He's like, man, I hit this son of a bitch. Guess what? Shut the fuck up. I don't give a shit. No, so you really have to be, you know, on a bad team to join a game in progress. You know, people obviously leave and shit like that. And one of the things that just pisses me off is obviously I have to pick up the pieces of whoever left this fucking game. You know, somebody left this game for a reason. Whether they were having a bad game, they didn't want to play with their teams, they got booted out this motherfucker, whatever the fuck it is, chances are it's not a reason that makes you want to go join this fucking game. Now, granted, even if your team was in a winning position, again, the stats and the wins don't count for nothing. So basically, it's a lost cause once you join in these fucking games. So a lot of times when I see like these games in progress and shit like that, I do one of two things. One, I just let it automatically boot me out, you know, where it does the kick for inactivity and shit like that. And this motherfucker, man, they're all fucking protecting shit like that. you know, either boot you out for inactivity, where if you don't, you know, do anything for a minute, it'll automatically kick you out. Or I just say, fuck it, I just PS quit out this motherfucker and go play something else. You know, the fact is, it's irritating that you join a game in progress, and as the person who has to pick up all the damn pieces, even in a game like this where I finished 15-5 in first place, I automatically take a loss. And even had I been able to carry these motherfuckers to the win, there you see all the levels of these goddamn scrubs. Even if I had been able to carry all these damn scrubs to the win, it wouldn't have counted for shit, man. So anyway, there you see how I was stuck with scrubs in this game. Actually, I was fucking thrown into a room with scrubs. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video.